Welcome, young space explorers, to this explainer. Today, we're taking a cosmic safari to one of the most famous, most debated, and honestly, the farthest icy world humanity has ever visited. Predicted by Percival Lowell and discovered back in 1930, we are heading way, way out to the outer edges of our solar system. So get those imaginary spacesuits ready because we are jumping right in. 5.9 billion kilometers. That huge number right there, that's Pluto's average distance from our sun. To wrap your head around that, it's so unbelievably far away that a radio signal traveling from Earth, and remember, that's moving at the literal speed of light, takes over 5 hours just to reach it. Seriously, if you tried to send a text message to Pluto, you'd be waiting practically all day just to get a simple hello back. Section 1. Welcome to dwarf planet Pluto, the farthest frontier. Now, if you were actually standing on Pluto, the sky would look so completely different than what we're used to. Imagine stepping outside and looking up at the sky right at noon. Here on Earth, the sun is this giant, blindingly bright, warm circle, right? But on Pluto, because you are nearly 6 billion kilometers away, the sun just looks like a tiny, extremely bright star. Midday on Pluto literally looks exactly like the dim, shadowy evening twilight we get here on Earth. Section 2. Sizing up our icy neighbor. How big is it really? Okay, this comparison is absolutely wild. Pluto is only 2,377 kilometers wide. That means its entire diameter is actually smaller than our very own moon. It's just a tiny fraction, about 1/6 the width of Earth. You could easily fit the whole dwarf planet right in the middle of the United States and still have room to spare. And because it's so tiny, its mass is only about 0.2% of Earth's mass. Because it's so small and made mostly of ice and rock, it doesn't have a lot of gravitational pull. In fact, Pluto has only 6.3% of Earth's gravity. So what does that mean for you? Well, if an adult weighed 100 kilograms here on Earth, they'd feel as light as a feather on Pluto, weighing only 6 or 7 kilograms. You could jump incredibly high into that dark sky. Section 3. A freezing wild surface. Bundle up. You are definitely going to need the thickest spacesuit ever made, because the average temperature on the surface drops to a mind-numbing negative 229 degrees Celsius. That is way, way colder than the absolute coldest freezer on Earth. It's so extremely cold that the invisible gases we normally breathe, like nitrogen, actually freeze completely solid and just fall right onto the ground like ice. All that intense cold bakes up a totally bizarre recipe for Pluto's surface. The ground isn't just regular rock. It's this frozen mixture of nitrogen ice, methane ice, carbon monoxide ice, and, of course, regular water ice. Now, when Pluto's weird orbit brings it a bit closer to the sun, those ices actually expand into a thin atmosphere. Then they freeze and collapse right back to the ground when it moves farther away again. Oh, and those cool reddish-brown colors, those are made by chemical reactions with sunlight, creating stuff called tholins. But hands down, the most beautiful sight on our tour is Sputnik Planitia. This is Pluto's globally famous, giant, heart-shaped plain made entirely of nitrogen ice. And the borders of this massive heart, they're surrounded by towering, jagged mountains that reach 3 to 4 kilometers high into the sky. But get this, these mountains aren't made of stone. They're made of frozen water, which acts as hard as solid rock at these freezing temperatures. Even wilder, scientists suspect there might be a massive liquid ocean hidden deep beneath this ice shell, and possibly even ice volcanoes, or cryovolcanoes, erupting out there. Section 4. Meet Pluto's 5 moons, the cosmic companions. Pluto definitely doesn't travel through the dark alone. Here is our official roster of its 5 moons, and it's crazy how recently some of these were found. It all starts with the biggest one, Charon, discovered back in 1978. Then, as our telescopes leveled up, we found Nix and Hydra in 2005. Finally, the incredible Hubble Space Telescope spotted the tiny moons Kerberos in 2011 and Styx in 2012. Scientists actually think this whole tumbling family formed after a massive collision billions of years ago. The most fascinating moon of the bunch has to be Charon. At roughly 1,212 kilometers wide, Charon is basically half the size of Pluto itself. Because it's so massive, they actually orbit a point in empty space outside of each other, making them act almost like a double or binary planet system. And if you look closely at Charon's North Pole, it has this dark, reddish cap of tholin ice that scientists literally jokingly nicknamed Mordor. Section 5. The Great Planet Demotion. What happened in 2006? Okay, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Why did Pluto lose its official planet status on August 24th, 2006? You're probably wondering, did Pluto shrink? Did it break apart? Run away? Nope, none of the above. Pluto stayed exactly the same. What actually changed was us. Our science, our telescopes, and our understanding of space just got a whole lot better and much more precise. So, here is the rule that changed everything. In 2006, the International Astronomical Union decided a true planet must do three things: orbit the sun, be round, and clear its orbital neighborhood. That last one just means it has to be the biggest, bossiest gravitational bully in its path, sweeping away or collecting all the other rocks and ice. Because Pluto shares its orbit with thousands of other icy objects in the Kuiper belt, it failed this final test. But seriously, don't feel bad for Pluto. This wasn't a demotion or a punishment at all. It was actually a super exciting scientific discovery. Pluto didn't disappear, it became the very first dwarf planet, and it proudly reigns as the king of a brand new category of objects out beyond Neptune called Plutoids. Section 6. New Horizons and Beyond, a Historic Visit. Let's look at this timeline for a second. Back in 1930, Clyde Tombaugh discovered Pluto as just a tiny dot of light at the Lowell Observatory. Fast forward to 2006, the exact same year it was reclassified, NASA launched the New Horizons spacecraft, one of the fastest ships ever built. It took 85 long years from discovery to finally flying past it in July 2015. And when it zoomed by, it didn't find some boring dead rock. It revealed a young, geologically active world with complex weather and a stunning, glowing, blue, hazy atmosphere. And time on Pluto? It's completely wild. A single year on Pluto, meaning just one trip around the sun, takes a whopping 248 Earth years. Since we discovered it in 1930, Pluto hasn't even celebrated a single birthday yet. Plus, it has a retrograde rotation. That means it spins backward, just like Venus and Uranus, taking over 6 Earth days to complete just one day. Oh, and because it's tilted on its axis by 120 degrees, it experiences extreme seasons that literally last for decades. As we wrap up this explainer and wave goodbye to Pluto's icy heart, I want to leave you with this thought. If a dwarf planet billions of miles away is this wild, this wonderful, and full of active geology, what other spectacular alien mysteries are just waiting out there, hidden in the dark corners of our solar system? Keep looking up, keep asking those big questions, and never stop exploring. Thanks for joining me on this incredible cosmic safari.